Hi, Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your September 16th to the 30th, 2021 money and career reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bulls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Aries, September 16th to the 30th, 2021, Aries, money and career. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Let's get this all set up correctly. Fantastic. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At our root, we have the mage, which is the magician, and then we have the world. So there's magic here in asserting our power and in standing up in our own individualized gifts that really start to open up the world for us career-wise, personally, powerfully. It moves us to the Seven of Earth, the Seven of Pentacles, and then we have the Sun. The Sun is equivalent to the High Priestess in the Rider-Waite deck. Excuse me. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So there's this beauty and this brilliance that comes through kind of tearing back the layers of things and really seeing the truth. We have the Fool. And we have the Six of Cups, a new adventure taking us from the past, and that's going to be really quite important. The world comes through again in the public arena. We have it at our root. Now we have it here in the public arena. It's really quite powerful. And then we have the Six of Cups, a sense of coming together, but there's also this need to kind of step out of the shadow of who we once were and to embrace what we desire, what we want, what we need for ourselves, for our lives, and the way that we want to move forward. Now let's look at the energy we need to be mindful of during this time. What is the energy that Aries needs to be mindful of? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the Prince of Pentacles. So during this time, we need to be mindful of the power that money has over our words, over what we are saying, how we are moving ourselves forward. We also have to be very mindful over the secrets that people are keeping because they think that this can get them ahead, or they think that, they can get the deal over you. So there's going to be a sense here of being just very mindful of money in and of itself, the sense of the way that it's guiding us forward, the way that we're slowly and steadily building towards something. We also need to be mindful of having a tendency to get blinders on and only look at things one way. Spirit is saying, open up your mind, open up the possibilities, look at things through different lenses, through, different angles. See the way that you're moving yourself forward and see what you're moving yourself forward towards. Don't get caught up in this is how the journey has to be, or this is the road that I have to walk. It can be very different, and it can kind of be a little bit more avant-garde or, out of the ordinary than you had originally thought. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. It leads us to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. And this is rebirth. This is the Earth Star chakra located 6 inches below our crown, or below our feet. There is a sense here of being reborn in our powerful connection to the earth, being reborn in our greater understanding, our insight, our ideas, our coming together. And this is going to be a time where we see ourselves moving forward in a very powerful way. We see ourselves understanding things differently. We see ourselves being able to fly, being able to take risks, go after things that we hadn't thought of before. And it leads us then to the Magician. As above, so below. As you believe it, so it becomes. And that's going to be very important. That's going to be our magic. And that is the part of a human being's magic, quote unquote magic that we have. It's this sense of, as I look at the world, so I can create it. And it really depends on the eyes that we have and the way that we're seeing things that affect us so greatly and so powerfully. So when we stand before the altar of our existence, where we stand before everything that we are creating and everything that we're calling forward and everything that we have and everything that we want, we can look at it and think, wow, I don't have anything. Everything is fallen apart. Or we can look at it and say, there's something beautiful here. I just might not have put my finger on it yet. I might not have seen the way that I come together, the way that, I embrace my differences or my different way of looking at things. And this unique approach brings me power and prosperity and abundance and prestige. And it starts to open up the world for us. And when we stand before the altar of our existence and we say, but this is me. And this isn't a time to hide away. This isn't a time for us to doubt ourselves or, excuse me, be overly critical of ourselves. This is a time where we say, but this is me. This is what I have to offer. This is who I am. And the world starts to open because we start to open ourselves to the world, to what we want, to what we desire, to the way that we need to see things, to what we want to see within ourselves and our souls, and the way that we're moving forward. And we have to have patience with ourselves during this time because at our root, there's such miraculous things, such spectacular things that we're going to think, okay, I should already get this done. Like I should have had this done yesterday. I should have been able to already do this. And what Spirit is saying here now is like, be patient, see where you're headed, see why you're headed there. Look at your goals, look at what you desire, keep the door open, look at what you want, look at the bigger picture of who you are, and keep yourself moving towards these goals, towards your success, towards your power. But be patient because divinity also has a plan for you. And it can be very different than the plan that we have for ourselves. That's why keeping ourselves open spiritually to be able to take in the knowledge, to be able to take in the understanding is going to be so important. It moves us to the sun. It moves us to this place where a veil is lifted from our eyes, where we see our heart is at the middle of every bouquet that we have. Everything that is beautiful is based off of our emotional perception and understanding of the situation, understanding of ourselves. We see ourselves rising. We see ourselves, sending light into the shadows, being able to soar to new heights, being able to see things differently. So when it comes to our money, when it comes to our success during this time, it's like if we claim our power, if we claim our insight and passion and determination of ourselves, the world starts to open. When we start to see our own individual gifts, when we start to look at ourselves not as failures or not as people who haven't accomplished, but as people who are walking this journey and seeing what this journey means for us and what this journey brings out from us, what we need to understand by the steps that we have taken. We need to have patience with ourselves. It's leading to prosperity. It's leading to success. And it leads to this place inwardly where the veil is lifted from our eyes, where we start to see things more openly, more honestly, where we start to see ourselves more openly and more honestly. And we realize that our heart, being in what we do, is so intrinsically important. It doesn't mean that we have to love what we do. It doesn't mean that everything that we do has to be roses and butterflies all the time, because we're human beings and it's just not. Dostoevsky said that even if we had the most perfect existence, we made our utopia, we would pop our utopias one by one like bubbles. They would never be enough. And that's true. That's true. We have this desire to push, to obtain more, to keep on striving. And there comes a time where it has to be a conscious choice to say, is what I have enough? Is where I'm going where I want to be? The sun shines within us. The light comes forward. We're looking at things in a different way. We're looking at things in an honest way, in an open way. And we're seeing beyond the shadows. We're also seeing beyond the light, to our inner selves, to what we desire, to what we need, work-wise, financially, in a way for money and career to mean something. And it can be that our jobs pay the bills, but they're not the thing that sets our hearts on fire, and that's okay. It moves us to the Fool. On an emotional level, we're moving forward. Now, it can be that we've come to the conclusion, our job is our job, it pays the bills, it keeps things going. I have my side project that brings me joy and happiness. I have the thing that I do that absolutely feeds my soul and myself. And so I keep on doing it. And people would say, oh, that's foolish. What the heck are you doing? No, every single hero's journey starts with being a fool. And part of a hero's journey is to be happy within our lives. Not always striving to conquer the next monster and, slay the next beast. It's being able to say, I'm happy here. And isn't there the old saying, ignorance is bliss? And it kind of states that being a fool means that we are blissful. But what if stepping back and saying, I walk my path, I understand my truth, my heart, my soul, myself, and I focus on my steps, I focus on my journey, I focus on how I see myself and how I'm moving forward and the wealth that I'm calling in. And that becomes not our obsession, but the guidance of our hearts and where we lie and what we're embracing from ourselves. And people would say, oh, that's foolish. That's not how this game of life is played. Well, I'm sorry, but do you see everybody out there in the world just so blissfully happy they can't stand it? No, you don't. Maybe it's time that we change the game. Maybe it's time that we change the rules. And we start looking at ourselves with honesty and integrity and determination to say that I matter. Because when we start to say that we matter, we start to raise our energy vibration. We start to call forward new opportunities, new passions, new desires. And it leads us to this place where we bring a safety from the past forward. We also have to be very mindful during this time not to say it was better when, not to be lost in the realm of nostalgia. And so here, as we walk this journey, we also have to be mindful that we don't say, well, I tried this before. I tried to believe in myself. I tried to go out and do my thing. Or, I looked at happiness. I thought it was this and it failed me. Some things aren't meant to succeed. They just aren't. They're meant to be our building stones. They're meant to be our building blocks. They're meant to be the things that we use to get ourselves where we want to be, to move ourselves forward in a powerful, intense, intuitive way or personal way. And so now we have the fears coming from the past, but also the fears of the future. What if I can't? But what if we can't? What if we can't create exactly what we had envisioned? What if what Spirit has envisioned for us, maybe even better than what we had thought of ourselves? What if we let go of the past and say, I can't hold on to you anymore. I can't recreate you because you're gone. And I use this time to step forward. I let go of trying to recreate the really beautiful moments, but I also let go of the moments of hurt and pain and disappointment that rattle in our head like dice, waiting to be thrown. This is a time where we start to look at where we are now and realize that there's a blank slate here. There's a way that we can move forward that aligns us with our success. Yes, we have the wisdom from the past and the power of the future before us, but we have the intensity of the present guiding us. And that leads our hearts to open up to the world, to say there's more here than meets the eye. I can step forward, I can step in. There can be a feeling during this time, Aries, like there is more to be accomplished than we had originally seen. That is an okay feeling. Don't deny yourself it. Look at things differently. Look at things deeply. Look at things from every single angle. See where it is that you want to be. See how it is that you want to move forward. Embrace your power, your insight, your ideas, and yourself. Open up the door and claim your path. Do not let others shame you because it's not a conventional path, because they do not understand it. That's fine. That's them. This is you. And you get to open your door to something spectacular. You get to claim your part of the world and say, this is where I stand. And I stand here firmly and powerfully. It moves us to the Six of Cups. Again, as we claim our prosperity during this time, as we claim, as we claim the power of what is to come, we have this energy saying, well, what about the past? What about the hurts and the pains and the disappointments? What about the angers and the upsets and the times that I failed? But what about the joy? What about the beauty? What about the power that is you? And this is a time where we need to say, I see the past. I understand it. I understand the hurtful words. I understand the negativity. That doesn't get to define the way that I am setting up my future and the power that I am moving forward into my life. This is a time of success. Be very mindful of having money be the only gain or being the only aim during this time. It can become our mouthpiece. There's also going to be a lot of hidden print, okay? Fine print, things that are implied but aren't said that we have to be mindful of during this time. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is Cernunnos. This is Capricorn energy. This is telling us to be mindful of the fact that not everything is going to be as it seems, and that there are always going to be consequences to actions. Whether they be positive consequences or negative consequences, that's irrelevant. We are going to have to look at things and not get caught up in the lust of acquisition. There we go. Acquisition, the lust of the hunt, the lust of, the pushing and the shoving and the going for it. So this is going to be a time where we have to be very mindful that every action, be it a positive action or a negative action, has a reaction, be it positive or negative. So just be mindful of that. Also be mindful here that we're going to be facing things that we're not really secure of. We find to be a bit chaotic. We find to bring chaos into our finances, into our dealings with money, into things. There's going to be just a curveball thrown in. And it's not going to be anything bad. Cernunnos isn't bad. Cernunnos is just the god of chaos. And so we look at chaos and say, it's nature. It's what naturally happens. And so be aware of that during this time. It moves us to our subconscious chakra energy. And that is the inner child. This is a time when we're looking at our career, when we're looking at our finances. This is a time that we embrace our heart. It's going to be so important because it brings us to a new way of prosperity. It brings us to a new road. The energy exercise that I love to do when the inner child comes up is just to visualize your inner child, the person that you were when things weren't perfect, when you felt misunderstood and forgotten and not seen. And what happens here is as we visualize that child, we have the person that we are now, the adult that we are, stand there with open arms and let that child run into those arms and tell that child, I'm here for you. I see you. I stand with you. I love you. I will always understand you and I will always listen to you. You are not forgotten and you are deeply loved. It's a powerful exercise. I absolutely adore doing it. It helps us with our finances, with our career, especially when there's this doubt, excuse me, that is coming forward, this thing that makes us think, oh no, I can't succeed this way. I can't, move forward because either it's not going to be as good as somebody else. We can have that kind of imposter syndrome come forward. Or I was told I wasn't good at this. I was told this wasn't my strength. This is my sister's strength. This is, my brother's strength. This is, this is what somebody else is better at. This is what somebody else is powerful at. This is not me. This is a time where we're going to see ourselves breaking those barriers, standing before the altar of our existence, being very aware of our thoughts, of the way our mind is moving us forward, because the world becomes open to us in a way that we hadn't envisioned. It leads us to our subconscious rooted energy, and it's the Lovers. Be very mindful that what you're going after is what you love, not just simply what looks good on paper, because underneath the water, if we see here, are the skeleton and, the skeletal legs. Everything isn't as it appears. This is falling in love with life again, not falling in love with the surface ideal of everything. This is power and intention and heart and soul. It moves us then to our subconscious inner self. And that's the Ace of Water. God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is handing us a gift of healing, beautiful love. And it is washing away the negativity, the hurt, the pain, the fear, the shame that keeps us small, that keeps us quiet. It moves us to our subconscious inner self, emotional self. And it's the Six of Swords. It's time to move forward. We're going to hit rocky waters. We're not going to be sure all the time. We're going to overthink and we're going to overfeel. But if we stay within ourselves and if we stay true to ourselves and we say, my heart and my mind have to come together. I have to see and I have to understand who I am and what I desire. It starts to open up the door. It starts to lead me in a direction I didn't think I could go. It brings us then, and there's a protection to it too, as we move forward. It brings us then to our subconscious public arena self. And that's the Emperor. That is the essence of us coming forward. We're represented by the Emperor in the major arcana. We're represented by the wands in the minor arcana. We are coming forward, embracing the essence of ourselves and saying, I will not be held back. I will not be silenced. I am claiming my throne. I am knowing what I desire, and nothing and no one will stop me. Period. End of discussion. This is a time of fierceness. This is a time of revelations. This is a time of powerful energy movement to say, there is more here for me than you could ever know. All right, Aries, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the world opening to us and a powerful path forward. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aries.